shot, who me? Take that, ooh-wee. One shot, who me? That's all you need. One shot. Everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot. For everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot. You only get one shot. You only get one shot. One shot. For everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
It's Week 15 of the National Football League. We'll see the dynamic Justin Fields. After his last game, now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Bears and the Eagles, next on Madden Football.
We've had a lake effect snow band sitting over Soldier Field since about 9 this morning, and it's not supposed to budge anytime soon. The good news, the folks don't seem to mind here in Chicago. Today, we reach Week 15. We've got a good matchup in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Chicago Bears. I'm Brandon Gaudin. He's Charles Davis. Full disclosure, we both have mittens. We both have coats on up here in the booth. This one, it's going to be interesting.
I've got the long johns, the socks, the boots, you name it. You know me in cold weather, we don't get along all that well. But these games are always interesting because you never know how it's going to play out. One slip, someone's going for 80 yards, and you could lose a game.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. On the return, it's Tristan Ebner from his end zone. The Chicago's offense running out, and something they hope to see for years and years to come. Second-year pro Justin Fields leading the way.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Fields going to throw right away. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brandon Graham in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
First carry down for David Montgomery. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brandon Graham, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here's Jordan Berry now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And taken at the 46. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Out of bounds inside the 35. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
I don't think that run was anything that was designed, but when his reads were blanketed as he went through his progressions, all that was left was for him to run and try and pick it up himself.
But first down, Hurts. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears will take over here at their own 12-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Fields going to keep it once more. The quarterback run good for 10 that time, but it does lead to a third down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Fields on third down. Rolling to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know, it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
You're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Another run with Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, out of my way, and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Well, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10. Now it's Fields. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up third down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their third one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
On third down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the first down and force the punt.
And take it right on the 30. Avoids him at the 40. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Yeah, this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Right back to Sanders on first down. He's got it to the 43 here. The Eagles had 10-3 on the year, and they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Sanders. And they'll be inside. the 34-yard line.
He's tackled at the 34-yard line.
They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Hurts. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Oh, let's turn it up. This is your game, baby. Yeah, go right now. Show what you got. Got ready.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. A solid stiff arm. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 60 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll go option to the short side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Eagles have taken a 13-0 first-quarter lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Chicago offense set to get started. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Here's Fields. And incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down. Forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. This offense returns to the field. And the former Penn State star Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Ready, break.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Ready, ready.
Another run here with Sanders. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 83 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action with Hurts. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in.
And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Miles Sanders with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Eagles have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, so if you are scoring at home, Charles, and God bless you if you are, but that's now 3 drives and 3 touchdowns.
So in a baseball game, wouldn't that wreak havoc on your scorecard?
Yes.
I mean, with all the action that's happening now, how they got here, whatever cliche you want to bring into it, they're locked into a groove, they're clicking on all cylinders. Bottom line, they're piling up the points.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-0. 5 plays there on that drive, and it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They run with Sanders off the option. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
Second down, back to Sanders. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along. Let's go,
They'll run with Sanders. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Sanders will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0, Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them, so I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
Elliott now to have the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Chase Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Fields now to throw. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Fields on first down. He sets to fire deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
A 2nd and 10 on a chilly, snowy December day, and I must say, I'm loving it. Kind of putting me in the holiday spirit. Charles hates it. And he's giving me the evil eye, folks. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
3rd and 2, Fields. He's got his tight end O'Shaughnessy. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Many different ways to create space, but on that... With that big wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. 5 yards remain on second down. To throw is Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. 3rd and long. It's Fields. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The final 4 weeks of the NFL season are upon us, and we got some intriguing matchups in prime time tonight. Patriots and Raiders, that's in Vegas. Josh McDaniels taking on his former employer there. And then Monday Night Football, the Rams and Packers from what should be a frosty Lambeau Field at 8:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 locally there in Green Bay. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. To throw again on second down. Hurts. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. So that potentially an important takeaway here in the second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
On first down, it's Fields. Dance, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback, and even a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
Fields. From left side, taken in by Kmet. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete here to Kmet. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Again, Fields. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And from here, might not be able to take a knee, might need to run a play here that's close to their goal line. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, and it's the home side who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Terry McLaurin, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. James Robinson with a couple of touchdowns there. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Falcons. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And a big reason why they have this big lead, the running game. They're over 100 yards as a team, and it's been the catalyst for this offense. Meanwhile, for the Bears, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these two coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Indeed, Coach, thanks very much. And that snow you alluded to showing no signs of stopping, at least in the foreseeable future. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
120 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give them the credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Steps away to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's Hurts to throw.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Watkins.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They run the option here on first and 10.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
Get it! Ready.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's third and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, a 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Elliott on for the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their 25-yard line.
Now Fields.
Got an open man. It's Pringle. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 30 on second down. Fields to the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll run at Sanders. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
152 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Eagle.
Let's go.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
We're glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
He's had success running the football. This is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, his 11th touchdown of the year.
And the Eagles continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
To throw again on second down. Fields. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Hurts. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Quez Watkins. 35 yards. And the Eagles get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, familiar refrain. A turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. The Chicago offense set to get started. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Here's Fields.
That's caught by Montgomery. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. And this offense on third down today, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on third down, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down.
Bears. First down. First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Here's Fields. Flush to his right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That's Derek Barnett coming in and making the play.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now it's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it was me.
Here's Jordan Berry now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. The return is Ward. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
About food because that is something that you and I
enjoy. We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
It's going to be a runner. It's going to be a thrower. Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They go again with Scott. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Bears take over.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 27.
Fields now to throw.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Now a 1st down throw. Fields.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Back to throw. Fields.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Fields throw there, complete to Mooney. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way because...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox.
And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season. And add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Holding, offense.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackle for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Going deep here for Watkins.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Eddie Jackson picks it.
And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
To throw is Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Throwing again is Fields. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Throwing again on 2nd down.
Fields.
He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. Over the middle, complete. That's Montgomery. And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Fields. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
2nd down and goal. Fields. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's got daylight. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of some say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that one almost intercepted. Could have been his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there's a college football coach in the Hall of Fame. His nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides of the ball were so dominant in this game. And on offense, not only did they score it, but they did it through the air as well as on the ground. Everything was working.
And you know that the guys who scored the touchdowns, who contributed that way, that threw them or ran them, they're going to find our cameras and have a big grin for them. But I hope our cameras find that offensive line. How versatile were they? Move the ball on the ground, move people so they could run it, and then protected their passers so they could throw it.
So for the Eagles, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Chicago, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbillies. Cube-bone stallion with the lip. Really became a boss many years back when I was gone. With the bag and banging, producer. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the corner. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border. Let the rhythm hit 'em, cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system, let's turn it up, a little louder, turn it up, a little louder, turn it up, we never sound, when you take a pound, take a look around, when we touch the town, knock the way, stomping in my big black J's, corny, get stuck in the maze, we never suffer fools, had enough of you, false friends and loose ends, make me wanna fool, that, we got another world tour, touching every shore, from Cali to Singapore. Every day I'm seeing more in the temple as we rock up tempo instrumentals. I saw my dream in a dream, then I woke up. Put the dream team together, now we one time. So let the rhythm hit 'em, just let the rhythm hit 'em.